episode number 70 of the 3 Count Out podcast. We have a hell of an episode this week because this week, I guess I should say, my name's Arav1. I'm joined by the big, beautiful, bald, bearded bastard from Detroit, Mike. Jackal's not here. He's scouting out locations for 3 Count Out Wrestling Federation. This week, we are joined by an extra special guest from the Mindful Mistreatment Podcast that goes out every Monday and Friday. Heather, a.k.a. Dream. Thank you. Woo!
Oh, hello.
Welcome in.
Welcome, Dream. It is about time we got you on this pod. It is about damn time.
It's literally been months in the making, yeah.
So there's been a lot going on this week in the world of wrestling. We're going to get into that. But Dream, real quick, would you like to give people just a little bit of a background? What's your sauce? What you like about wrestling? What you sitting at?
I love luchador style. So like growing up, there was like obviously Ray and Eddie. But I love me my divas. I love me my women's wrestling. I love my spicy wrestling too. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people are familiar with you from our streams, but I can attest that you have some wonderful takes that I am very, very excited to get out there into the world.
Yeah, my whole thing is stir the pot and then run away.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have a very similar mindset.
Light the firework and watch it go off from a distance.
Speaking of fireworks going off, there were some fireworks, unfortunately, this week in the realm of WWE. I'm going to be honest, from the time that I took these notes, the list has grown even more of how many people have been released. And there are some notable names. And Dream, there are some notable female talent on here that I want to know
a lot of
what you
talent.
think about. Yeah, because this seemed like cleaning house.
It's literally, I saw the list and I saw, I was scrolling through social media and I was like, this is actually crazy because some of these talents were in big time storylines.
Yeah, I mean, and some of them are even coming with Cora Jade's not dragging people through the mud. I guess they were dragging her through the mud, body shaming her and stuff. And it's like, geez, I thought we were done with this shit once we got the old man out.
Well, and what I don't get is there was the one report where it was like, okay, they weren't working as hard as we wanted, and then Gigi and Cora both were like, that's bullshit. We were on TV 2-3 times a week, and when we weren't, we were working our asses off. And Gigi was like, or I think it was Cora that said oh yeah, and then when we were getting body shamed, we went to a private gym so that we could work out there instead. So the whole thing is okay, so why'd you really release them? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know Cora's promo skills aren't great, but I mean, you were using her on NXT and TNA, and all of a sudden you were just like, nah.
Yeah, so the Cora release was so shocking because if I'm not mistaken, she just challenged Masha Slamovich for the title, the Knockouts title.
Yeah. I don't know if you can you still take indie bookings with TNA? Is that something you can still do now if you're released from WWE?
That's a good question.
I really hope that they can book as whatever they can, I
mean, I hope for their sake they don't book with TNA, because to me, booking with TNA right now is basically taking less money to still be near WWE.
Yeah, or WWE not wanting anything to do with you, but acknowledging that you have a name, like Nick Nemeth, where they're like, yeah, we don't want Dolph Ziggler, but we want Dolph Ziggler. They just didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, so I think, if, some of them are going to do probably really well in AEW. Other than that, indies are calling a lot of their names. I mean, Shotzi was having matches where I thought she was going to kill herself in the indies. So, I mean, I know she was already talking with Tom Pestock, who's Baron Corbin, that they were already talking about. He was like, I'll wrestle you. She's like, somebody fucking book it right now.
Well, speaking of Baron Corbin, he was somebody who has done well going over to GCW over in Bloodsport. Shayna Baszler is somebody who has unfortunately been released, but has crossed that line several times over to GCW. I honestly think that is an easy pickup for GCW. Like releasing Shayna Baszler, I understand that like promos left a little bit more to be desired, right? Like, but
I think that's also kind of their fault as well. How do you have somebody go undefeated in NXT the whole time until Rhea, and then bring her onto the main roster, literally set up a whole elimination chamber where she eliminates everybody, and then just go, never mind.
Yeah, and like, you know, we've given this match shit on the podcast several times, but the Ronda Rousey Shayna Baszler match
again, I was there for that.
Yeah,
and the amount of people that I'm sure they zoomed in on the screen because there was nobody in the seats. Everybody was getting their drinks and their food, and all it was them literally beating the shit out of each other for nobody to watch.
Yeah, but that's blood sport.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what Josh Barnett is doing. Like if you're looking at the work that Shayna Baszler has done in WWE, she cannot work to her full potential because you can't be that shoot fighter in WWE. But when you go over to GCW and you go into somewhere like Bloodsport, where they have quote unquote more MMA backgrounds or whatever, however they fucking describe it, I don't know. It's just one of those things where like that's an environment that's going to suit her very, very well. I'm very excited to see if that happens.
Yeah, because just to jump in on that, like Natty just was on Bloodsport.
Yes.
Yeah, I want that Natty on TV.
Absolutely had an incredible showing, and then instantly went from one fight, got off the apron, and just started another fight. And I was like, where was this Natty? Why can't they let this Natty do it?
That's like the true Heart Dungeon Natty that they'll just never let on TV, unfortunately. It's weird. Another release, though, that I'm looking at is Dakota Kai from the main roster. Now, Dakota Kai has always been, unfortunately, that kind of tertiary piece in whatever faction she's been in. But Dakota Kai in NXT would do great in AEW. And I'm hoping that we get to see that. And especially that's a women's division that Dakota Kai can fucking go in, right? Like that's one that's going to let her actually wrestle.
Well, and that's another one where like they were, you know, everybody was, and don't get me wrong, has she been very injury prone? Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, but everybody else in AEW is. It's fine.
For the last couple months, you know, people were like, oh, well, she's injured. And she's like, nope, not injured, just not being used. And like,
she's just been sitting at home, not by her own regard.
Thing with Lyra, and then they were just like, all right, throw her in the back again.
Yeah, just sit her in catering, you know, just take one of the most, I mean, legitimately one of the most skilled women's technical wrestlers and just keep her in catering, you know, just on the off chance you need her. And it was great seeing her with damage control and stuff, but you couldn't help but feel like she was always a side character. And it's like, dude, that sucks. So again, a release that I'm looking forward to. Well, I don't want to say looking forward to because that sounds bad, but I'm excited for the opportunities that Dakota Kai has in front of her. Because even if she goes over to TNA, I don't think it would be as good of a fit as AEW, but if she were to go to TNA or were to go to GCW, like whatever indie she goes on, she's going to get a whole lot more opportunities than just being the side piece to EO and.
Yeah, because for Dakota specifically, like you said, she's pretty much like she's been put on the back burner. And what I would, no matter what division she goes to, it would be an incredible addition, number one. But number two is it's a whole new group of wrestlers, of talent that she hasn't worked with. So, because like, if I'm not mistaken, she's never crossed the boundary into TNA.
Yeah, I don't think she has, no.
I don't think so.
So the opportunities the matches that I could already see, I wish them the best of luck. And outside of wrestling in general, the work, like the funny things that her and Zelina do is just funny to keep up with.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like genuine friends, and it's nice to see.
Yeah.
Zelina's had a good week, too. She got her title and her husband back.
Yeah, for me, it felt like with Zelina, you know, they were probably going to keep her around regardless just so they could get Aleister Black back. Unfortunate thing to say, but it seems like if he would have been like, no, you know what, I'm not showing up, they probably would have cut her too. and then we would have just had a barren women's division. I mean, it pretty much already is on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, there's like no women's tag teams
four or five
left.
active. No, well, and that's the other one that you release Caden and Katana, Casey, and you're just like, okay, so we're getting rid of all the actual women's tag teams and
breaking up the rest.
We're still having tag belts. Why?
So Liv Morgan can win them again.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch needs something.
Well, we got to have a belt on her, of course.
And I would like to point out, Becky did a very Charlotte thing.
Absolutely.
Came, won a title, lost it the next day, and then turned on the exact person that they won it with.
Yeah, you want to talk about a fucking waste of a WrestleMania spot. I mean, listen, I'm glad that women are getting legitimate opportunities to wrestle at WrestleMania now. It's great. But, like, that was just a waste of a women's spot. Like that. There were so many. That ladder match from SmackDown could have gone in that spot. There are so many other ways that could have gone. Or, like I've been saying, instead of being Becky Lynch, it could have been your former U.S. women's champion. Because, it was at the time, it was like, well, who's going to fill this spot? Well, how about the inaugural women's IC champion and the inaugural women's U.S. champion? And instead, they decided not to. That makes too much sense, I guess. Why would you want to do such a cool moment at WrestleMania? I don't know. Maybe something about a pay-per-view. Maybe trying to fill 2 nights, not filling it with slop. I don't know.
Yeah, this WWE, the last few weeks has been worrying, to say the least. Because it feels like we're starting to go backwards. It feels like we're starting to regress. And that's what they're bringing in Mariah May. And she is very much, she fits an AEW mold. She doesn't fit what WWE's been doing. So it worries me that they're going to bring her in, try and neuter her, and then just ship her out like 2-3 months later because she's like, well, fuck that.
Wait, WWE's bringing in Mariah May?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about what? I didn't hear about this.
Oh, yeah, that's been news.
When did she get hired?
Her contract with AEW, I think, just expired.
Oh,
so
shit.
She'll probably be there within the next month or two.
Damn, I completely did not know that at all. Holy fuck. That explains why they're doing a giant pivot with Toni Storm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't like, I love what Tony's doing. It's unfortunate that last week they were in Atlantic City, and I'm from South Jersey, so I know Boardwalk Hall. I've gone to see indie shows there. It is so unfortunate that they closed those windows. That's just a sidebar. They had a nice ocean view last night, and they closed it off. Or not last night, 2 nights ago, and they closed it off instead for curtains. That's just, it bothered me the whole time. But I mean, hey, Toni Storm's doing some great stuff. Apparently Mariah May's going over to AEW or going over to WWE. I can't talk anymore. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what happens. But there's other stories that are going on in the WWE women's division and other divisions as well. Dreamy had a couple you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah. Speaking, because right before we got into finding out Mariah May might be coming to WWE, which is like, I'm hopeful and I'm also like on the fence. Just to touch on the Mariah May it's like you said, she fits the visual aesthetic of what WWE is looking for right now. But with character work, if I'm not from what I see is, if you're not a title holder or you're already in the title chase, your character work will not be viewed as much unless you already you have that viral moment. So I hope the best for her character. And then Kaden and Katana, you let go of the whole, one of the only tag teams that.
Yeah, one of the only actual tag teams.
Yeah, let the whole, they let go both of the team members. They didn't even split them up. They just let them go.
Yeah, that's arguably worse. You don't even give them a chance as single stars. It's like.
And then if we're staying in the topic of tag teams, they let go of, I would say, one of the up and coming stars that's just been on a constant rise, Jakara.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they did let go of Jakara. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been using them a lot in TNA, and then they were just like, nah.
Yeah, because for I think 3 weeks straight, they had Lash and Jakara on NXT, TNA back to NXT, like jumping into TNA again. And I was like, oh no, they're pushing them. And then I open up social media and I'm like, oh no, I can tell they're gonna try and push one of them. And then, you know, if you push one, they let go the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved her, not only the character, like the in-ring work was genuinely on the rise. And so I was so wishing that they kept them together, just tried to give one person, like, if they're going to push Lash, I wish that they just had Jakara stay on mic work for a bit, you know, still work on everything and then get back together and do a full tag run. But, you know, I keep saying I wish them the best because genuinely in wrestling industry, it could get oversaturated to where there's a little too much talent for a roster to hold.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of rosters like AEW's rosters like that. Yeah, like.
And so I was like, oh gosh, that's all I've actually wrote it down in my notes. I was like, wish them the best.
Yeah. Go for it, Mike.
Nope, go nuts.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, there's some people on here that, you know, women's divisions, men's division aside, there's some people on here that I didn't know, and it's like, I understand those, you know, I understand, Javier Bernal. I don't know who that is. So, like, you know, maybe he was, you know, an NXT guy that needed some time or whatever. I don't know what the situation is. But then there's people like the entirety of Gallus, which is the trio that trained The Rock for last year's WrestleMania main event. And it's like,
I thought they were safe.
Yeah, it's like when you get that kind of writing, it's like, okay, cool. But then also you look at what Gallus has done. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. Not much out of that recently, at least.
Not recently. No, they were huge on NXT UK, and then when they condensed it, they were big immediately. And then after that, they just wrote them off TV. And I know one of the guys got injured for a while, but like Joe Coffey in NXT UK was consistently, you know, in Gunther's face, in Ilya's face, like he was up there.
Yeah.
And then they just gave up on all of them. So they're going to be one of those trios that wherever they go, they're going to do perfectly fine. Because those guys hit hard. They know what they're doing. And if they go back to, like, you know, Europe to do what they do, they're going to be huge stars, I think.
Yeah, they're going to kill it in, like, Rev Pro or even going over to New Japan, somewhere more global. But to bring it back to the point I was making, you know, the NXT and I think the main roster technically, they've talked about it before with the releases where it's kind of like from a business standpoint, they look at like, how much has this person developed in a year? And are they to the point where they've hit the goals that they want to hit? So, you know, there's definitely some ones here that raise eyebrows, like Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, you know, the Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, the ones that we've talked about. Those are the ones where you're like, what do you mean they weren't working hard enough? But then there's other ones where you look at like Gallus and you're like, okay, they had The Rock kind of backing them up, but at the same time, what have they done since training The Rock for last year's WrestleMania main event? That wasn't even on TV. It was in the WrestleMania documentary that they put out like 2.5 months later on YouTube. So it's like, I've seen a lot of people kind of being like, well, The Rock was on their side. This is Triple H taking out The Rock's people, blah, 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 blah. No, if this was Triple H taking out The Rock's people, Ava would be gone for no other reason than just Triple H taking out The Rock's people. So I don't think this is Triple H. I don't think this is The Rock. I don't think this is. I think this is straight, legitimate. This is a TKO board of directors, bunch of white collar suits sitting around deciding that they know what's best, and they don't. They're just looking at profit.
Yeah.
But again, there's names on here where you're like, huh? Like Braun Strowman? You're going to release Braun Strowman. You're going to tell me that the guy that consistently puts on some of the best matches on Monday Night Raw is not delivering. You know, it's like stuff like that.
The guy that's gotten over your two biggest big men, like your two most popular big men in
the guy that got Jacob fought too, as popular as he is now. Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah. And then you're just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck him. And he's like, you know what? My knees are shot. I might just retire and say, fuck it, which is understandable.
He's got enough money. He's got enough money, I guess.
Eddie Thorpe, who was just in a huge thing with Trick Williams, he's going back to, I guess, being a fucking DJ. So whatever there, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Eddie Thorpe, still not a great name. You know, when they said he was Native American, I did expect them to kind of stick him with a gimmick like Tatanka.
Dude, it could have been so much of a worse name for Eddie. It could have been something.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So I mean, at least he had kind of a good name, and he was actually able to represent for a little bit because he's like one of 2 Native American wrestlers that are active, and then he's just like, I'm gonna go back to DJing.
Yeah.
Like, well, never mind, we're back to 1.
Yeah. Who's the other?
Some dude on the indies. I can't remember his name. I just saw it on X.
Oh wait,
earlier,
Chief Littlefoot from Micro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Don't you dare! Oh my gosh!
What, you don't like Micro Wrestling, Dream?
I am telling you, I am all in.
You're all in. Yes.
I had, I think, like 3 days worth of content just scrolling because I liked a couple videos, and I'm like, I'm in.
Doom scrolls. Hey, Micro Wrestling, if you're listening to this, please come on the podcast. Please. I want Ivar on this fucking podcast. That's all I want in my life. I want Little Miss, damn it.
They're too popular for us, man. Just too popular.
They are out of our league. Yeah, we'll get fucking, I don't know. I don't want to smear any of them because I'd be more than happy with any of them on the podcast, please.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully, and you know, I shared the little thing in the group chat with you and Jackal earlier where I am definitely waiting for somebody to confirm or deny the people that are being possibly hired. Because if one of those names on that list gets hired and you just released all these people, especially all these women, holy shit, is that going to look bad?
Yeah, I'd also like to clear up. I'd like to clear up about Mariah May because I was looking into this while you were talking.
Yeah, it's November.
Yeah, so according to our good friend Sean Ross Sapp, friend of the program, he confirmed that her contract is up in November. However, there is strong speculation that Mariah would go to WWE. Personally, I think Tony Khan gives her a blank check.
Oh no! So go ahead, go on Max and check their Collision thing already. They already took her off of it.
Oh. Okay, maybe they're taking her off though during contract negotiations. Because like, if I'm Tony Khan, right, and I'm looking at everybody that WWE just released, and then I'm looking at who I can re-sign. Legitimately, I think the name that's the most money right now with everybody released and all the speculation is Mariah May. And you know, I'm not playing. I know sometimes I play into the gimmick. I'm not playing into the gimmick. I think she's gonna be fucking amazing. She's a star. And if she goes to WWE, she's never leaving WWE. They're going to pay her way too much money to stay.
Again, though, it worries me if she goes to a place like WWE because, I mean, we've seen her, you know, lick people's blood. We've seen her just be gay as hell on TV. And right now, it seems like WWE is like, you're not allowed to be gay. So
the closest you can get is Rhea's pin. That's it. That's as close as you can get. And even that's only because Triple H hasn't gotten over China yet. So that's why he's okay with it.
So that's what worries me, that she's going to come in and immediately they're going to be like, oh, well, never mind, we can't really. And then they're just going to have her sit in catering for, you know, months until her contract's up and then they don't renew it.
Or do you, in this new world that we find ourselves in, do you take Mariah May and say, hey, Mariah, you would do better on an edgier product. We're going to send you to TNA.
Oh, boy. I don't know if that's edgier. I think that's just worse acting.
Okay, listen. Which company would let Mariah May be gay and lick her opponent's blood? WWE or TNA?
I don't think TNA would know what to do. I think everybody would just pass out immediately.
They'd let her do it, though.
Yeah. Well, everybody's going to get a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Mass strokes just all throughout wherever TNA does their stuff now. I don't know. Whatever parking lot they find. Oh.
They're still having, like I said, they had Jeff Hardy as Willow do Dance to Not Like Us. So, you know.
I thought that was a joke, dude. I tagged you in it. I thought it was AI.
Nope, that's real.
That was the funniest video I've seen the whole week.
Can I get some context to that?
I was like, I can't fucking watch this right now.
Can I get some context to that, Mike? What was that? What?
It was, you know how the Hardys have their Hardy compound matches.
Yeah, I saw Ryan Nemeth talking to Gothic Baby or something. I'm so confused.
Which is just one of Matt Hardy's children.
Listen, I know.
So yeah, it was, Ryan and Nick Nemeth are now both bad guys because sure. And
they can be.
They had a match, and it was kind of one of those like, all right, well, we have to face them on their terms. So they went to the Hardy compound, and we had that fucking nonsense. It's never good. Those Hardy compound matches are never good.
Oh, they're always something to watch. That much is for certain.
Well, you're not wrong there.
But I mean, at this point, they're kind of the only Hardy matches that I want to watch, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But then I'll smoke a little something up in the background. Have a good night.
Can I make a bold statement?
Go, absolutely.
I completely forgot that the Hardys have made a resurgence in the past little bit.
Well, Resurgence is putting it. Resurgence is putting it nicely.
And that's because I'm always looking at everything as an opportunity.
I actually thought they were going to have a like the way that WWE brought him in to face Frax team and all that. I was like, oh wow, we might actually see. No,
that was just that way they could beat AEW in the ratings spike. That's all that was.
Yeah, and it's literally they were just like, all right, we had the Hardys a couple weeks. All right, get out of here, you goofy bastards.
It was them going, look, Matt, you can pull on Wednesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
They just. I love when NXT and AEW go head to head like that because you just get the weirdest shit that never. Everybody gets so excited. I got excited about the Hardys and possibly going back to WWE, and I was like, man, they could be in a coaching role. They could get involved in this amazing tag team division. And no, WWE's not there to follow up on any of that, dog. They want that bottom dollar. We learned that last week with The Rock. It's all about that shmoney, baby.
Tell me you don't care about your fucking company without telling me you don't care about your fucking company anymore, Rock. Jesus. Oh yeah, no, I was never gonna show up. I just wanted to start the storyline. And he's like, if I would have been there, it would have been better. Fuck
yeah, I was just there to move seats. Great, thank you,
the dude
Dwayne.
Can lick a sweaty butthole. Jesus. Hopefully that movie he's in is good.
It's not gonna.
Oh.
None of this is gonna be worth it in the end, Mike.
Oh, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm just, after completely fucking up a whole storyline, you might as well make a decent movie.
You would think. But there are some other storylines that are going on in the WWE. We find ourselves, I think on the day that this podcast comes out. Hold on, let me look at my calendar. Yep, on the day that this podcast comes out is Backlash.
Woo!
Yay. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Only 4 matches have been announced, which is odd for WWE. They typically do 5, so we are probably missing 1. But we're recording this before Raw. We're recording this before SmackDown, so I have no idea what they're going to do. That's on them. But the first match, one that I am extremely excited for, one that you could tell me it was 2012 again, for the undisputed WWE Championship, we have your reigning, defending, last real champion John Cena versus the Viper, Randy Orton. This is a hell of a match. I'm super excited for this one. This is what child era has always wanted in my life. Like this is a beautiful match. This is booked for.
I think I already know how it's going to end.
Well, I think we all know how this one's going to end. I mean, it's.
I'm hoping we use history, and if so, that is the only way. I would just be so happy for it to be a cheap win.
Oh yeah, the
history,
slap,
but flipped.
Yeah, Just slap the ref, get DQ'd, fuck him. And honestly, I want John Cena to give him the finger. I just really drive it home. Like
either that, or if you want to save this stupid fucking storyline they did with The Rock's bullshit, have Travis Scott come out there again for no reason and have him do that at every single pay-per-view.
No,
You know?
No,
I
let's
mean,
leave
if you're
Travis Scott
gonna
at home.
ruin things, and he just keeps on going. You guys don't like him. I'm going to keep bringing him.
You know, I did want to talk though about you talk about Travis Scott makes me just think about like celebrities in WWE, and I did want to. I forgot to bring this up before, but I did want to talk about celebrities in WWE is good because that's bringing more star power to the WWE. Because actually last week it broke right as we were done recording the podcast. Sources within Hollywood, I don't know who within Hollywood, but sources within Hollywood have confirmed.
You know that guy named Source.
A guy named Source has confirmed that Liv Morgan is apparently slated for a gigantic Hollywood role. PW Insider says a contact described it as the kind of opportunity that could cement Morgan as the next Hollywood it girl, and that the project will be a hit as internally projected. I don't know what the project is. I don't know what the role is, but I want to wildly speculate. Can we get Liv Morgan as Barbie?
Fast and the Furious 47.
Fuck.
I got it too.
No, but more star power, man. This is what we need. Because you turn the WWE wrestlers into celebrities, and then people know who they are. And like Liv Morgan's a great person to be putting out there.
True.
Yeah. So Liv has this little this unique ability to smile, and you kind of forget why you don't like her. But then and then she proves it like, oh no, the smile is for show. And I'm like, that is a very unique quality.
Yeah, I remember back when people were speculating who Sister Abigail could be. I think we probably even speculated it. Were we doing the podcast back then? Yeah, I guess pretty wild. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, like I remember like people were, we were saying that like Liv Morgan would be like a great Sister Abigail just because like she has that look, and you're right, she has that way to just like make you kind of forget and kind of lull you in a little bit, pull you close, and then when you're not looking at it, stab you in the back. God damn, that's what I like.
But if we're going off of track record with the storyline with Rhea and then Dom, it was just the way she's able to tell the stories. It's a breath of fresh air because like we said, she has this thing that makes you want to find out more. And that's like a lot of like, that's where I could see the star quality of like the acting and the big roles. That's what I see for her. And like I said, I hope everything goes good because that is something that I will tune into.
Yeah, and I mean, Liv Morgan has had it. She's had amazing matches with Becky Lynch. We'll talk about next, but the storyline with her, Rhea, and Dom, I think, is what really has cemented her in the main event. Like, I think when people look back at the career of Liv Morgan, what we're watching right now, this is going to be like the meat and potatoes of it. It's going to be great. And she has plenty more to go, hopefully. So who knows what Liv Morgan is going to do. If she gets into movies and then comes back, the star power that's going to come with that is amazing. She's had some great matches, too. Some of her greatest matches have been with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is going up against Lyra Valkyria, the woman who she turned on after they won the Women's SmackDown Championship, or the Women's IC Championship.
Did she turn her on, though? Or did she turn?
Maybe. I guess we'll find out. But I mean, hey, a singles match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think if you're looking to build the legacy of a new title, I think Becky Lynch, honestly, a great person to put it on. Because the next person that defeats her, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a Becky Hogan run, but realistically, it's still Becky Lynch. And you're going to have a lot of people stepping up to Becky Lynch just because she's Becky Lynch. And then when the person beats her, they've beaten all of the people that Becky Lynch has beaten before. You know what I mean? Like she has a lot of power. She's high up on that pecking order. So I think it puts that next Women's Intercontinental Champion in a great spot to just actually make something of this title. And there's not a lot of, we talked about it earlier, there's no women's tag teams left. So,
nope.
they need something to fight for. So might as well make the championship good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think once the belts get moved off of Liv and Raquel, I think, unfortunately for Raquel, she's probably going to be not far behind everybody else. That's just what I think, because it seems like they're kind of just letting them hold the belts for shits and giggles right now, and then when they're gone, they'll be like, all right, well, we don't have anything for you either, so ski-daddle.
Well, I think the fact that they're the only women's tag team right now probably means that they're going to hold. I think that's career security. I think
maybe. I mean,
until they get rid of those belts.
You know what they like to do? They like to just put people together for no fucking reason. So.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, the only oh, sorry if you hear the I'm sitting outside and I have my little wind chime going on, but
oh no, it's fine. It's Zen.
Absolutely. So I think the only last potential not thrown together tag team would be what do they call them? The Secret Service?
The Secret Hervis.
Oh yeah.
Secret Hervis. Yeah.
Chelsea's goons. Piper and
Alba.
Alba. Yep, I messed that name up last time too. Whoops.
I genuinely think a faction led by Chelsea with all the titles would be the funniest storyline, and that goes beyond the women's division, because it's like they could start comparing themselves to the bloodline. They'd be like, well, we have everything.
I want to see Chelsea Green, because she's done an amazing job adopting this president persona. I want tribal chief Chelsea Green.
Yeah, that was way too much sense. That's too good of an idea.
I acknowledge my tribal chief, Chelsea Green.
That sounded better than any storyline they could think of.
Welcome to the ring, Intercontinental U.S. Champion, United States of the world, and every other place in the world, Chelsea Green.
Let's give Chelsea Green all of the women's singles titles, and let's give the Secret Hervis the women's tag team titles.
I'm all in.
Four belts, or 2 belts, Chelsea. Yeah, four belts, Chelsea.
Sounds too good, though.
Just like Sasha Christ, 4 belts, Chelsea.
I was about to say, let's take all the belts from Mercedes and just put it on Chelsea.
Yeah, Dream, I don't know if you're familiar, but unfortunately, we're not huge Mercedes Moné fans here. She has a little nickname. We call her Sasha Christ.
Yeah. Just, I mean, the fact that like 6 different companies were like, hey, I have an idea. Let's put our belt on her. That'll really boost our ratings. And then she just fucking abandons a company. So we have 4 different companies right now, all with their belts on her. She's not wrestling for any of them. Like,
Didn't she want to go back to WWE by the time she got signed by AEW?
I know there were talks back and forth. Who fucking cares? She's farting around AEW right now. She's hoping to win the Owen Hart tournament so that she can add that.
Oh, she will.
And
5 belts.
And then because of that, she'll be able to challenge for the women's title.
6 belts.
Oh.
The funniest thing is, I'm going to say not the funniest. The saddest part is they had her go against Athena, and Athena is quite oh my God, the talent with Athena. And then to have, I don't know if you guys have seen the match, just to win by a little roll-up or like a little pin.
They do that. They've done that a lot before, and they do that to protect the wrestler. So it's like, well, see, she couldn't beat her. She had to roll her up to win. They do that a lot, but
I mean,
it's one of those where you're like, all right, I guess, sure, have her beat Athena for no reason. I mean, seeing Athena more on AEW would have been great because, let's be honest, 14 people are watching Ring of Honor. And I feel like her talent's just being wasted.
Yeah, I think the thing that I didn't know, and that I only realized when they talked about it on AEW, she's undefeated. She debuted.
Mercedes?
Yeah, she debuted May of last year. She's been undefeated for a year. She has 4 belts, and she's been undefeated for a year.
Again, she hasn't used those belts. It's not like she's been out there putting them on the line or anything.
No, because over the year with 4 singles championships, would you guys like to guess how many times we're just going to go with the AEW stats because that's what's easiest for me to track. Would you guys like to guess Mercedes Moné, first year in AEW, champion, multiple championships have been defended in AEW. Would you like to guess how many total appearances, not matches, appearances that Mercedes Moné has had?
17.
I'm gonna say, just for the giggles, if she has 4 titles, let's say 7.
Mike, you were the closest. She has had 22 appearances. That is across Dynamite, pay-per-views, collisions, dynasties, revolutions, grand slams, world's ends, all outs, all ins, forbidden doors, and doubles or nothings. Everything that AEW has had to offer over the past year. She is a quote-unquote major women's champion in AEW 22. That is a Roman Reigns schedule.
Yeah, and they let her get away with it.
She's going to take Tony Khan for all the money she can. Good on her, honestly, I guess. I don't know, man. Once I heard that stat on, I think it was on Collision, I heard that. I was just like, dog, that is insane. And then, like, the more I looked into it, I'm like, 22? 22. And I mean, I guess you maybe get a little bit more if you add in Ring of Honor. But, like, how many is that really? You know, like 30, right. Maybe? Like, no, it's not. It's not a champion schedule. It's definitely not a champion schedule of somebody who has 4 fucking women's championships to defend. Soon to be 5, possibly 6.
So my biggest problem with Sasha Christ 5 belts is that's 3 different companies that decided, hey, let's make you win.
Yeah, and 2 of the companies work together like all the time. They could coordinate losses. Like,
and then if anything, they can rewrite history and just say, oh wow, well, none of those losses that she's had matter. So, but like that's different divisions that just don't have anything to fight for at this point.
Yeah,
that's like 3 brain cells fighting for like 10th place.
And there's not much to fight for, really, or there's not many people to fight in WWE, which means, I mean, the women's division's looking like the AEW Women's Championship to me. It seems like the one to watch.
I mean, I guess they're fighting for like the first chair in catering.
Kind of.
Yeah. There's going to be another big fight happening at Backlash as well. Well, and I say a fight. Let's be honest. A slaughter.
All right, hold on. Because we saw this just recently at WrestleMania. If they absolutely murder Gunther's character,
don't do
as
this
they're prone to do.
Don't do this to me, Mike. Please. Let Gunther survive, please.
He should win. He should win by all counts. He should win handedly. But we have seen that WWE likes to take a steaming shit on his character and go, he's going to lose. Because look, he's not Gunther right now. He's old Walter.
If Pat McAfee beats Gunther, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to go to Indiana myself. I'm going to go to the Thunderdome, and I'm going to teach Pat McAfee that he needs to just sit in that fucking chair. Listen, friend of the program, Pat McAfee. That's where we stole friend of the program from. Okay? We like Pat McAfee here, but Pat, you need to just stay in the fucking chair, dog. Don't. There's a reason why Pat McAfee did not survive NXT. Okay? There's a reason why Pat McAfee is a commentator and not the fucking Intercontinental Champion. There's a reason why Pat McAfee is funny on a microphone and has had WrestleMania moments, but those moments are surrounded by monumental stars like Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's because Pat McAfee is not there to fucking wrestle. He's there to make commentary more enjoyable and to be the viewpoint of the everyman. And even in that regard, some people in the past few weeks are pointing out that he's just been lacking because he was just fucking high and burnt out the entire WrestleMania. Which, listen, I was too, but I'm not a fucking WWE commentator. So it's just one of those things where it's like, dog, don't this we talked about, we talked about Becky Hogan being a waste of a WrestleMania opportunity. This is a waste of a Backlash opportunity. This is an opportunity that could have gone, hey, take that. You're not going to put that fucking TLC match on WrestleMania. Instead of putting it on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, put it on Backlash. It would make people watch this. And instead, we're going to get, I assume, just based off the fact that there's 4 matches announced, and this is a PLE, what, are we going to get a fucking 20-minute, 5-star Dave Meltzer classic between Pat McAfee and Gunther? What's going to happen? What are we going to do here? Like, I understand that you need to pivot opportunities, and this was probably going to be Kevin Owens and Randy Orton or something like that, and now they just need to put something in here or whatever. Fine. Or maybe you're just putting them in here because ESPN, or maybe you just wants time off. I don't know. But, like, the fact that they're putting this on a PLE, you know who could benefit going up against Gunther, just thinking off the top of my head? Finn Balor. You know who could benefit going up against Gunther, just think off the top of my head? A young up-and-coming star that he already has a lot of amazing chemistry with, Axiom. Or maybe Nathan Frazier. Or maybe Ilya Dragunov. Or maybe literally anybody else than Pat McAfee. This could be on Raw and kill him in a minute. Like,
that's actually what I was about to say. I was like, if they're going to just throw Gunther in a PLE just to do it, they could have made it a gauntlet match and just have him start and take every single person in catering and just throw them at him. Just have Gunther just chop each of them and just dominate, just show dominance. But like, you know how like we're saying like, oh, there's not enough talent. There's like, they just let go a shit ton of talent that they could have just thrown at him if they wanted to do this.
You know what match would have been fucking great? You're talking about that, Dream? People that were released who I'd love to see against Gunther? Braun Strowman. Nah, instead release him. Put him on a fucking yacht.
I mean, he didn't, to be fair, did not look too upset.
No, he really didn't.
He was like, oh, I'm going to be on my jet ski today. Oh, well. Working out on a fucking yacht. He's just like, yep, tough life. Somebody's got to do it, though.
Yeah. But going back to this Pat McAfee Gunther match, the thing that I hate the most about this is that I know that at some point during this match, Michael Cole's going to take his headset off and get in the ring. And then we all, listen, I know Michael Cole says he's undefeated at WrestleMania, but we all know what that looked like, okay?
See,
it's not going to be a match that needs to happen at a PLE. Like,
there's also Pat's whole crew.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, fucking D-Butt or whoever is gonna fucking jump the barricade. Yeah,
plenty of people for and that's the thing. We gave AEW such shit for Big Boom AJ and the little fat boys, and man, this is kind of up there. Like, we're wasting. And don't get me wrong. Like, if Backlash is like an hour and 20 minutes, and 20 of those minutes are Cena versus Orton, and it ends with that sloppy DQ smack to the ref, and Gunther murders Pat in 3, great pay-per-view. Perfectly fine on my part. No qualms.
Yeah, I mean, if it's short because Pat McAfee gets murdered, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but if it's Pat Gunther for like 40 minutes, oh boy.
What bullshit spot do you think Pat McAfee is going to try that he can't do anymore?
Canadian Destroyer to Gunther.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, if Pat McAfee is a fucking Canadian Destroyer, I take back everything I say.
Nope.
No, I'll fucking Canadian Destroyer myself if that happens. I'll just jump off my roof, get a little bit extra height.
Oh, there you go.
So, either Pat McAfee dies or I die. We'll see how that match ends.
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin. And if nobody dies between those two matches, someone's definitely going to die in what right now is listed as the main event of Backlash. And to be honest, I kind of hope it is the main event of Backlash. A fatal 4-way for the WWE United States Championship. Jacob Fatu versus L.A. Knight versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Someone's definitely going to die. Probably Drew McIntyre or Damian. They hate each other.
This is going to be, this is one of those ones where I love LA Knight. I do. But man, with the hard-hitting style of Jacob, the stiffness and hard-hitting style of Drew, and the fact that Damian has shown he can go toe-to-toe doing that shit too, and then you have LA Knight there.
Chilling.
It feels like he's going to get hurt a lot because all those guys don't come to fuck around. I don't know, man. That could be one of those. It could be just a all-out violent match. I'm for it.
Honestly, I'm looking at it and like, you guys are talking about how everybody's so not to be played with. I wouldn't mind LA Knight taking the back burner, like the back burner character, like the ones that come in, do a couple moves, get stiffed, and then roll out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I haven't kept up with most of the men's storylines, but I wouldn't mind LA Knight taking a pin.
Yeah.
I
think LA Knight's definitely the only guy in this match. But, talking about storylines, the storyline that Drew McIntyre has been having, he's finally going to get his hands on the bloodline in this match. Jacob Fatu is there. He's the champ.
Yeah, but was Jacob around when they were fucking with Drew? I don't think so, right?
I don't think Drew gives a shit.
Maybe not.
If you're an accomplice to a person that hit me, I'm gonna hit you back anyways.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those ones where Drew and Damian stuff gets too personal for them. They end up paying too much attention to each other, which allows for, Jacob Fatu to hit a move on LA Knight, get the pin, and get out of the way while they're still fucking with each other instead.
Yeah, I think there's really only two ways that Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre in this match can go. Either they both kill each other and essentially just take each other out of the match, or I would assume maybe Damian Priest getting the upper hand this time, since he kind of got his ass mollywopped, to steal a line from Anthony Bowens, got his ass mollywopped at WrestleMania. So
he did.
I feel like Damian definitely needs to shine in this match. Obviously, you should talk Damian Priest, but he definitely needs a little bit of oomph. Needs a little bit of a not a push. I don't really want him in the main event scene, but maybe a nice little mid card run, and the U.S. title could do it.
Yeah, but are they going to put a belt on him is the real question.
They put the World Heavyweight Championship on him. Why wouldn't they put the U.S. title?
I think that was just to kind of, like, hey, look at you, kid. You got a belt.
Good job. You showed up to work today.
Good for you. And now, he could have a belt. He was fine with a belt before. And they could do it again, but I think they just put it on Jacob. I don't think they're going to take it right back off of him anytime soon. Could be wrong. But
yeah. I think the way that I want this match to go is I want Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre to kind of really smack each other good and murder each other quick. Just so that way that gets out of the way. And you kind of let Jacob Fatu and LA Knight go in, do their thing. Jacob is going to probably just beat LA Knight's ass just so that way he looks strong. And then I guess at some point, Drew McIntyre just decides, hey man, Jacob Fatu is right there. He's standing in the ring by himself. He's part of the bloodline. Fuck him. And he just beats the shit out of Jacob, probably. Like, they're going to beat the shit out of each other, honestly. Like, that's good. Those are going to be live blows. That's going to be insane. And then, hopefully, can Drew McIntyre finally get a run again? Because they keep putting him in these spots, and they keep, The Rock re-signed him, and there's, he's a star, and it's like every opportunity, he's at home in his own crowd, in his own country, and he can't even win the big ones. Like, can we give him a United States Championship in fucking St. Louis? That sounds like the most mid-card thing that you could give Drew McIntyre at this moment. So can you at least give him that so he has something? Not to mention, the United States Championship is one that sucked. They haven't really done anything.
Yeah, and he could be one of those people that could elevate it, I think. Just because he's Drew McIntyre and he's been a WWE champion the problem is then do they also decide, like, okay, we're going to take Drew McIntyre out of the big picture and put him in the mid-card scene from here on out? Or not from here on out, but, for a while. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Drew McIntyre, though, I mean, I feel like even if you put a mid-card title on him, again, he still feels like a main eventer. He always has. I mean, even when he was being forced down our throats by fucking the devil himself, even when he was being forced down our throats, he still felt like a big deal. Because, at the end of the day, it was like, okay, they're saying he's the guy, so be the guy. And Drew McIntyre's done an exceptional job. When he got let go and came back, like ever since that, his COVID run, everything after that, even though he's gotten shafted at every opportunity, they've been amazing matches, and he's constantly putting on some of the fucking, like, we're sitting here after every main event or after every pay-per-view going, oh my god, dude, this Drew McIntyre match is crazy. We didn't expect anything from Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest at WrestleMania. They killed each other. It was awesome. Yeah,
that's a fantastic match.
Yeah, like Drew McIntyre, in my opinion, is always going to be that guy, and I think this is the match where you have him handle Damian Priest. You have him take a shot at Jacob. I mean, even if he doesn't win, he at least needs to beat he needs to die trying to beat Jacob, because at every opportunity he wants to beat up the Bloodline. We saw this a couple weeks ago. You need to keep that going, and it's like if they don't, like. He's going to hit Jacob during the match, okay? It's a fatal four-way. They're all going to fucking hit each other. But, like, you need to drive that home. That, like, this is Drew McIntyre essentially getting served up everybody he wants on a silver platter. And it's like, dog, you need to fucking kill these guys and walk out of there with that title, or you ain't doing shit. Like... Listen, I've said this the past 4 or 5 fucking pay-per-views. This time I mean it. If Drew McIntyre can't even win a fucking mid-card title, this is it. This is it. This is his last fucking shot.
At this point, I mean, like you said, he has like almost practically all of his opponents is like he has a target for all of them. What I honestly would love to see is a spot where right when they start, he just looks and he's like, that Spider-Man meme? He's like, which one of you do I hit first? Like, which one? Or even just goes on mic and just goes and says, I don't know who to hit first, but just know I'm gonna hit all of you.
That would be... I love that Drew McIntyre always finds ways to innovate during his matches, like fucking taking the selfies during WrestleMania and shit. I love that stuff. That would be the most Drew McIntyre thing ever, to just roll out of the ring and be like, hey, yo, I'm going to hit every single one of you. He just gets back in the ring and does it. That would be like that. That's the kind of Drew McIntyre that I want. The Drew McIntyre that we had during COVID. The guy who called his shot. I'm going to win this championship. And he did. And he was a great champion at a time when the company needed it the most. So
Absolutely.
He has that track record. I don't know why you wouldn't put the fucking U.S. title on him. I mean, the only other way I see this match going is Jacob retaining. And if that happens, I'm not going to be upset. I love Jacob Fatu too. Fatu also. I love Jacob Fatu also. So, like, I'm not going to be upset if that happens, but this is Drew McIntyre's absolute last opportunity. If he can't put this away, dog, fucking take your fucking sword and your kilt and go to a Ren fair. Like,
and I mean, this is just me throwing things out there because, like, as we all know, we can go on social media and give WWE Creative every single, like, the best creative plan, and they'll look at the social media, like, bookings, and they'll be like, that's actually a great thing. Let's not do that. So here's what I'm thinking. If they have Jacob retain, and like you said, this is Drew's, like, if I don't get this, then I'm going to go crazy. If they have Jacob retain, then Drew can be like, well, I'm going to challenge you one time, me and you. If I lose, oh, well, that's it. And I don't know. That's just like, that's what I would see.
Yeah. They use the fatal four-way to have Jacob Fatu win. Yeah. I mean, it does bring up the question, why wouldn't you just give Drew McIntyre an opportunity after WrestleMania?
Because he did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, why the fuck would Damian Priest be there? He got his ass kicked. Yeah, you're right. You're so fucking right, Dream. Oh my God. Oh, unfortunately, WWE does listen to this podcast. We know this for certain because we've speculated wildly and shit happened. We talked about Braun Strowman and Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins possibly being a thing before it even happened. They 100% listen to this podcast. Braun Breaker? What did I say?
Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I still got the releases in the brain.
That's understandable.
Hey, that speaks to the name of official friend of the program, Braun Strowman. I don't know. He doesn't follow us or anything. But, I mean, I think when I'm looking at this Backlash card, the thing that I want to be into it. This feels like the first card that WWE has put out that I just point and laugh at. Like, or at least since the end of the Vince McMahon era, I should clarify. Like, this one feels out of touch. I know sometimes we talk about the international ones being like not for our demographic, like when they go to Saudi Arabia and things like that. But like this one is in fucking St. Louis. Like I think the only reason why this fucking pay-per-view exists is for John Cena versus Randy Orton in St. Louis. I think
right.
I think that's it. And like,
it's just, as soon as I saw Backlash was in St. Louis, I was like, well, we know what's going to happen. Okay, that's an easy up.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, man. Just there's so many other stories in WWE that are going on right now that aren't on this card. One of the ones that, one of the ones that is missing that really stands out the most. One that I thought was going to happen, honestly, a lot differently. Naomi and Jade Cargill. I 100% thought there was going to be a fucking swerve of Bianca being involved and all. Like I thought all of that was coming, but like this is an entire story that's just missing from your Backlash card. Like if this was on there, I'd actually be watching that. Like the Naomi versus Jade Cargill is a match I very much want to see right now.
Instead, we? Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh no, I was just going to ask: are we getting Tiff versus Nia at Backlash?
It's not. If it is announced, it is not announced right now. Okay. As of the Monday before Raw, it is not announced. I mean, maybe they put that in there, and that's at least another thing that they can do. I mean, I guess that's a match I'd watch, but like Nia Jax just kind of showed up out of nowhere and just kind of took the spot. There's other people that could get that opportunity. Just saying.
I mean, I see. I with Nia coming back and immediately going after Tiff. I see what they're trying to do because of the history. And the fact that she cashed in on her, I see it. You know, it's a story that was finished, but Nia just wants to reopen it. I could see it, but realistically, it's a story that's been done over and over, especially with the exact same way. It's just as much star power that Tiffy has. Sorry, I just keep calling her Tiffy because I keep saying Tiffy time. Tiffany, as much as the star power that she has, especially going over Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Stiff match.
I genuinely, the fact that I would rather see Jade versus Naomi, that speaks to the story, because they're not even after the title. Jade, I mean, this past, was it SmackDown, Jade did that little hint that she wants a shot at the title. And I'm like...
But that's after the Naomi story's over, probably, you know?
And I just saw a post about how Naomi is getting at this point, this age where this might be her last run. And this is, other than, you know, this new Naomi with caution, it's one of the best character pivots that I've seen in most recent years, since probably even the character The Man happened with Becky.
I'm so glad that we don't have her TNA character, which I guess was just kind of Naomi, but her real name. Like, I'm glad that she's actually doing something different, and that I think this is the best that Naomi has ever looked. Like, she has an attitude about her now where, like, when she's cutting promos backstage, it's, they're cutting. They're landing.
And this, like, cinematography, like, the promo vignettes that they've been filming, with all the editing, and it's you can there's talent where you look at them and you're like, oh, I can see that they're a star. And then there's the talent where you're like, let me give them a chance, and then they show up and show out.
Yeah.
And every single time Naomi has shown up, whether it be like the Royal Rumbles where she just does the saves, or every time that she comes in, there's always a pop. There's always a reason that I want to see Naomi. And it's not to discredit Jade, because Jade is that immediate star when she walks in, but it's in this instant, I mean, I don't usually root for the heels just because I've always been like leaning towards baby faces since I was watching the Divas and stuff.
Fair.
But this is the one time where I'm like, oh no, I want Naomi to beat her up.
Yeah. I'm just so glad that we finally got Naomi some good fucking music, and we no longer have to hear her fucking spell her damn name as she walks down to the ring.
Oh,
God damn. I'm so glad that they're... I don't know if it's still Def Rebel making them or what, but I'm just glad they're starting to chant. Well, these are Def Rebel bangers, okay? These are some good ones.
Because TKO loves Def Rebel, now UFC gets them too.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, they're not going anywhere. Oh, fuck.
No.
Ah, shit. We're gonna get... Who made... who made the fucking... Who made the new music for AEW? Is it still Mikey Ruckus? Because the music that they've been having recently sucks ass.
No, because I think... didn't he get released... Or didn't they stop with him either end of last year or something like that?
I don't know.
I thought he even put out a tweet about it.
I heard when I was listening...
Like,
when I was watching Collision, I heard the Ops theme, which is Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Love that substance. But that theme is literally just a fucking hi-hat and a wood block. That's about what it sounded like. Yeah. It's
not
like
much.
It's like, man, the tables are turned real quick in the world of wrestling music, where we're going, damn, Naomi has a great theme. AEW's theme sucked, though, right? Like that. Woo, that flipped.
Well, I think unless you're willing to get like one of those real songs, you know, like Edge having Metalingus, or Mox when he was by himself that had Wild Thing, or the Young Bucks or Kenny or anything like that. Like, unless you're one of like the top tier stars that Tony Khan thinks you are, I think you just get some generic bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And one of the greatest themes ever is back in WWE, Aleister Black. Love that music. So that's going to be super fun. And the Rusev music is great, too. That's the thing, man. WWE's having some great returns. They're kicking some stuff out of the park, but then they're putting on some shitty pay-per-view Backlash. And you're like, okay, yeah, it's still WWE. We're going to get some things that we love, but they're going to keep the bar real low. You know what I mean? They're going to keep it like dirt low. And as long as they make money, they're okay with that. It definitely kind of shows that like corporate mindset that WWE has. I think Triple H cares about putting on a good show for people, but I think like board of directors, WWE, they don't give a fuck. They just want money.
Oh no, I think they are literally just looking for bottom line, and that's why stuff is kind of garbage.
I mean, I'm looking at I'm going to SummerSlam when they come out, like when they're coming to New Jersey, and I'm not getting these tickets, but I wanted to just... This is insane. No. You ready for this? The Elite Plus package for front row floor centers for WWE 2025 SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. I can say that as somebody from shithole New Jersey. $40,000 per ticket for front and center SummerSlam. That's insane. 40 bands.
I'm good. I'll just look at the highlights.
How fucking rich is Green Shirt Guy?
Wait, is Green Shirt Guy a thing? He's still a thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's still kicking. He's still kicking.
Oh my God.
And he's not a WWE plant because sometimes he shows up in AEW.
I swear, and I'm not even joking, I remember Green Shirt Guy because of a what was it? Was it Deal or No Deal? Do y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, with fucking Howie Mandel.
He was on one of the episodes, and I specifically remember because he was like, I want to win tickets to WWE, like to wrestling. Like I watch wrestling, and then oh my God, that was like 15 years ago.
So he's a millionaire?
Oh yeah.
I heard he was the dude that got punched
was.
by CM Punk. That's always the theory that I've heard, is that because if you look the guy that got punched by CM Punk and Green Shirt Guy, they have a very similar goatee. And it kind of just looks like maybe the guy that got punched by CM Punk put on a few pounds, but I guess it's not the case. I don't know. I could never figure out who the fuck Green Shirt Guy. Hey, you know what? We called out micro wrestling earlier. Hey, Green Shirt Guy, if you're listening to this, go on the pod. I got a lot of questions for you, man. I'm not upset. I just want to know how. I just want to know. I'm just curious, help a brother out. You know what I mean? If you got to hook up, slide a few our way.
Well, before him, there was like a red hat guy. So
yeah,
there's always been somebody.
Trinidad flag shirt guy. He's one of my favorites. Well, he's this dude from Trinidad that has a flag on his. It's a Trinidad flag. He loves WWE. He's just this old dude. He's great. Yeah, 40 bands. So anybody want to go in on some SummerSlam tickets? We'll split the seat in half.
No.
You get the right cheek, I get the left. Yeah, no,
that's one of those ones where it's like, okay, cool, I will definitely watch from home, thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to SummerSlam. I'm not paying $40K. I'm good.
Hell no. I'm
good. But yeah, I guess if you guys got anything else to talk about, that's all I got. You guys got anything? We went through a whole bunch of releases. We went through a whole bunch of stories. We went through a whole bunch of backlash. We went through a whole bunch of just thoughts in general, thoughts about the world. Anything else you want to put out there into the ether?
I don't think so. Not for me, anyways.
Well, I would like to say I came out to stateside US with a dream, hence the name. And one of those dreams was to do something in the wrestling, the wrestling sphere. Mm-hmm. And I'm just putting this out there to manifest life. I want, my dream is to either be a manager or an announcer.
We need to get you with Tommy Vendetta. We got a guy. We got a guy. How do you feel about deathmatch wrestling? He uses Legos.
As long as I don't step on them.
Yeah, he power bombs his opponents on them. Sometimes pile drives, from what I've seen. A little bit of variation.
I love that for them.
Tommy Vendetta, look him up. He's great. He's been on the show too. We love Tommy.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I got. I think absolutely manifest in the world. Let it be known, because we're always trying to ride somebody's coattails of success. So Dream, if you get popular and go to the WWE, don't forget us when you're famous, please.
Or be like, yeah, no, I definitely don't know those guys.
At least get us into one of those media press conferences. We won't ask about Waffle House orders.
Yeah, we won't ask you your Waffle House order. That's a promise.
If I ever somehow make it, which I'm not gonna say somehow, but if I ever make it, I will be giving you all tickets to each event so that we can start the next generation of Green Shirt Guy.
Oh, absolutely. I will buy a highlighter green shirt. I'll be front and center. Absolutely. Dream, if people want to find more of you, they want to find your podcast, The Mindful Mistreatment, where can they find all this good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I just recently started a podcast with my best friend, Gavin. And that is the Mindful Mistreatment Podcast. We have it on Spotify and I believe Apple Podcasts. If you would like to follow my Instagram, where I do a lot of promoting and sharing of updates and everything, that would be dream_university. Yeah. And I genuinely thank you for having me on this podcast, because like we said, it's been months in the making, because I think we asked one time months ago.
Yeah, it scheduling got weird. Unfortunately, we were one episode off. I really wanted to have you on for number 69. But we had you on, and we definitely have to have you on again, because it has been a blast. If you want to find more of us over at the 3 Count Out Podcast, you can find us on Spotify, on YouTube, wherever else you get your podcast. Make sure you hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that bell, leave a comment, leave a rating, touch all the buttons, do all the things. If you want to find more of me, you can find me over at twitch.tv/EraV1 or at YouTube at EraV1 Music and all major streaming platforms. New EP coming out soon. I'm going to get sued by Nintendo. Woo!
Hell yeah, get you some Nintendo money.
If I get a DMCA, it's a signature.
There you go. That's worth it.
Autograph.
And if you like me, listen to this always. Download more, listen more. And if you don't, I will be taking out each person that asks about a Waffle House order.
Well, Mike, that's funny because I just got a text from Jackal asking what we wanted from Waffle House. Look at that. He's actually back with our Waffle House orders. Look at that. Hey, Jackal, how's it going? Mike was just shit-talking Waffle House orders.
Yeah, I'm going to need the... You know what? Let's just...
Dream, you want to... Here, Mike, you hold one arm. I'm going to hold one arm. Dream, you want to beat the shit out of Jackal? You want to just beat him up and take a pin? He's struggling. You know what? He's struggling.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Nah, he's fine. You got him. You got him.
Okay.
Oh, man. You wearing steel toe boots? He went down. Holy fuck.
He went down quick.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, well.
We might need to wrap this up. He might
cover him. I'll count the pin, and then we got to hide the body. Woo! All right, let's go here. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Ring the bell. Get a body bag. I'm glad we have those in studio now. It's been a couple weeks for this to happen.
Yeah, we've needed them. Things
we're prepared. We're prepared by this point. Yeah. Get the defibrillators on them.